14. The Buddha, the Awakened. He whose victory can never be undone, whose conquered can never rise again to pursue him, whose knowledge is limitless, by what track can you trace him who is the Buddha, the Awakened, the trackless? He over whom no desire with its snares and poisons hold any sway, whose knowledge is limitless, by what track can you trace him who is the Buddha, the Awakened, the trackless? Even the gods love those who are given to meditation, who are wise, who delight in the tranquility of renunciation, and who are awakened, the Buddhas. Difficult it is to be born a man. Difficult is the life of mortals. Difficult it is to hear the sacred truth, and yet more difficult is the birth of the awakened, the becoming of Buddha. To commit no sin, to do good deeds, and to purify one's thoughts, that is the teaching of the Buddha. Everlasting patience is the highest form of self-control, and nirvana is the supreme goal, so say the Buddhas. For he who hurts or strikes others is not a true monk, nor a true renouncer, neither hating nor harming, living a life of restraint and discipline, being moderate in eating, seeking solitude, and engaging in pure thoughts. These are the teachings of the Buddha. Even a shower of gold pieces cannot satiate earthly desires. Wise is he who knows that desires bring little joy and much pain. The true disciple of Buddha finds no joy even in heavenly pleasures. He only delights in the destruction of all desires. Driven by fear, men seek refuge in mountains, forests, sacred trees, and shrines. But such refuges are neither secure nor ideal. They will not protect a man from his sufferings. Only he who seeks refuge with the Buddha, the sacred truth, and the noble ones will, with clear understanding, see the four holy truths: suffering, the origin of suffering, the destruction of suffering, and the sacred eightfold path that leads to the end of suffering. This is the safest refuge. This is the ideal refuge. It is here that a man will be free of all suffering. Rare it is for a Buddha to be born. He is not born everywhere, yet wherever such a sage is born, that tribe prospers. Blessed is the birth of the Buddha. Blessed is teaching of the sacred truth. Blessed is the harmony of the true disciples, and blessed is their devotion. The Buddhas and their disciples, who have overcome all desires and all evils and sorrows, they deserve to be worshipped. He who pays homage to such awakened and fearless souls will earn merit that can never be measured. 15. Happiness. Let us live happily then, without hating those who hate us. Even amidst haters, let us live free from hatred. Let us live happily then, free from ailments among the unhealthy, from sin. Even amidst the unhealthy, let us live free from ailments. Let us live happily then, free from greed among the greedy. Even amidst those who are greedy, let us live free from greed. Let us live happily then. Though we possess nothing, we shall feed on happiness, just like the radiant gods. Victory breeds hatred. The defeated lies in pain. Happily lives the peaceful, he who has renounced both victory and defeat. There is no fire like passion. There is no evil like hatred. There is no pain like existence. And there is no higher happiness than attaining supreme peace. Hunger is the worst disease. This conditioned world is the worst suffering. He who realizes this realizes the highest form of happiness, nirvana. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the best wealth. Trust is the best relationship. And nirvana is the highest happiness. He who has tasted the sweetness of solitude and tranquility, drinking deeply the sacred truth, he is free from all fear and sin. Delightful it is to see the holy ones. Joyful it is to live with them. Staying away from fools always brings happiness. He who keeps the company of fools suffers a long time. As with association with an enemy, the company of fools is always painful. But keeping company with the wise is like meeting with kinsfolk. It always brings happiness. Hence, just as the moon follows the path of the stars, follow him who is wise, learned, calm, steadfast, dutiful, and virtuous. 16. Pleasure. He who forgets his way and grasps at pleasure, and who abandons the true path, will in time envy him who kept true and exerted himself in meditation. Do not seek the company of those who please you or those who displease you. To part from the former is painful, and to be among the latter is painful too. Both are painful. Let, therefore, no man love anything. Loss of the beloved is painful. Those who love nothing nor hate anything have no shackles. From the pleasure of attachment comes grief. From the pleasure of attachment comes fear. He who is free from the pleasure of attachment knows neither grief nor fear. From affection comes grief. From affection comes fear. He who is free from affection knows neither grief nor fear. From lust comes grief. From lust comes fear. He who is free from lust knows neither grief nor fear. From love comes grief. From love comes fear. He who is free from love knows neither grief nor fear. From greed comes grief. From greed comes fear. He who is free from greed knows neither grief nor fear. He who is virtuous and knowledgeable, who is just and disciplined, who speaks the truth, he practices Dhamma and fulfills his duties, is loved by the world. He in whom springs a desire for the inexpressible, nirvana, in whose mind dwells knowledge and whose thoughts are not bewildered by pleasure, he is called the upstream bound one. Kinsmen, friends, and well-wishers welcome back a man who has been long away and returns safe from afar. Similarly, good deeds receive him who has done good and gone from this world to the other. just as kinsmen receive a friend on his return.